Hey there, good morning. How's everybody doing today? I'm Connie Foote with Foote Title Group, where we not only do your home closing and make sure everything's done smoothly and correctly, but we protect your home ownership. I know I didn't give you a warning about when we were going to be on today because I'm out of town at a conference trying to learn all kinds of great new information to share with you about are different ways for us to be able to share the information that we try to share with you. So thanks for taking the time to tune in this morning. Good morning, my friend Sherry. How are you today? So I wanted to just get on for just a short little time today because I didn't want to miss our time together, but I'm trying to get ready to go down for the conference, and I wanted to talk to you for a few minutes about equity. This is something that we actually have a story and some information on our blog as well, so you can get some more details, but let's talk about what it means to have equity in your home and what you can do with it, because sometimes, you hear some of these terms and you might know what some of it means, but you don't understand the actual term. So when somebody says it, you are thinking, gosh, I didn't realize that was what somebody else was talking about when they were talking about, for example, equity in my home. So, hey there, Teresa, how are you this morning? Thanks for tuning in. So when we talk about equity for your home, what we're talking about is if you purchased a home or a piece of property, when you purchase that piece of property, let's say, for example, you purchased a townhouse and you purchased it for $150,000. Maybe that's a little bit low right now, and maybe it would be more like $200,000. And let's say that you stayed in that townhome for 5 years, and over that 5-year period, as you paid down your mortgage, you actually earned some equity in that home. That's one way that you can earn equity. So as you're paying down the mortgage, equity is the difference between what you owe on your mortgage on that home that you own and what that home could sell for. So let's say you purchased that home for $200,000 and you got a mortgage on that home for $180,000. And so there, right, going into that home ownership, you actually own 20% equity in that property. So good morning, Marie. Thank you so much for tuning in. So you actually, at that point, when you sign the papers at closing, you actually start with 20% equity. Now, like anything else, that can change as the real estate market changes a little bit. So there's several different ways that you can earn more equity in your home. One of those is making the mortgage payments. So as you make the mortgage payments, now the difference between what that home is worth and what you owe is actually going to grow because you're making payments and reducing that mortgage. So as you make your payments, you are increasing your equity. So one of the things that people ask questions about is, should I make extra payments toward my mortgage to pay down my mortgage? And everybody has different opinions about this, particularly when you're talking about estate planning and you're talking to financial planners, you're talking to tax people. Everybody has some different ideas about how that should and shouldn't work. And so definitely you want to talk to that professional about it. But as you make those payments, you're increasing your value in that home and the larger percent that you actually own of that home. So the equity is the difference between the value of the home, what it's worth, and what you owe. So another way that your equity could change is some of you may know and understand and have heard about the real estate crash and the whole economy crash over the past several years. But as the economy was increasing before that happened, home values were increasing. So you may not have been paying down your mortgage, but the value of your home was increasing. So it can happen in a lot of different ways. Your home value can increase because maybe you live in a neighborhood that is the new construction. So you bought a townhouse that was a brand new townhouse that a developer is building, and as he continues to build in that neighborhood, the home values may be increasing because they're adding other amenities that maybe weren't originally planned, or maybe some other things are happening in that neighborhood that are increasing the value of the home you purchased. Or maybe it is a long-term development. They started building in that neighborhood 5 years ago, and now the real estate market as a whole has increased. So the same townhouse you purchased 5 years ago has now increased and is being sold for another $10,000. Well, what that does is make the value of the townhouse that you now own increased by $10,000 without you paying down that mortgage. So not only are you increasing your equity by paying down that mortgage, but also outside factors affect your equity. Again, how much you owe over and above what you owe the bank. So if you're in that kind of scenario, maybe the home values have changed and now your value is more valuable than what you originally paid for it. And so in that way it increases your equity. Another way that your equity can increase is if you live in a neighborhood that's not in a brand new development, but things are changing in your neighborhood, maybe it's an older neighborhood and some homes are being totally renovated. Hey there, Jacob, how are you? Good to see you. I know that you're in the process of buying something new. Thanks so much for your business and congratulations. Really excited for you. Hey there, Bill, how are you today? So let's say you live in a neighborhood that's an older neighborhood that maybe over the past 5 years has seen some bad things happen. Maybe people who bought on the high end of the market and couldn't afford to keep their house, they walked away from their house, the house foreclosed, and maybe it was in disarray. That can affect your equity in a negative way because maybe people, when they are looking at homes in your neighborhood, say, oh, well, I'm not sure I want to live in that neighborhood because some things are going on there. So that can turn around too. And as the economy is changing and people are starting to come in and buy some of those homes for themselves and rehabilitate the home or buying it to resell, that brings back up the home value and can bring it up to a level that maybe is higher than what you originally purchased your home for. So let's say maybe you purchased your home 5 years ago as the economy or the real estate market was in a kind of downside way, and you rehabilitated the house that you purchased, and now other people are doing the same thing. So not only when you purchased the home, you purchased it at a little bit of a distressed value, that maybe now that you've rehabilitated that house, you've done a lot of improvements to it. Now you've increased the equity too. Maybe you put $5,000 or $10,000 in a kitchen remodel, and now that has increased the overall value of that home by $20,000. So you've increased the equity on your own. Or if you live in that neighborhood and someone else has purchased some of the other homes in that neighborhood and have done some of these things, they've increased your value because they have done improvements to other homes that now will make your home more valuable in that particular neighborhood. Hey there, Becky, how are you? Hey, Bob, how are you? I hope you're feeling better. I know it's a slow process, but I hope it's coming together for you. So there's lots of different ways that your equity, which again is the difference between what you paid for the home you are living in or that you own and what you owe on it, that's the equity. And there's so many different ways that that can increase or potentially decrease and change. So we are now in a real estate market where things are changing as far as home values and how the homes are being transferred, and the market is moving a lot faster, and a lot more people are out looking at homes, buying homes, rehabilitating homes, doing all of these things that weren't happening over the last probably 6, 7, 8 years, and a lot of that's happening now. So the inventory of the homes that are available to buy there's a lot less on the market, which causes the value of the homes to go up, which will increase the equity in the home that you have. So lots of different ways that you can do that. I hope you understand a little bit more about how that actually works. I know with first-time home buyers, that's a lot of confusing information, but also those of us who have purchased homes that we've owned our home for a while and we don't really understand, well, how does some of these things change and affect my ownership in that real estate? So hopefully I gave you a little bit of information this morning. Just a short coffee with Connie today. As I said, I'm at a conference out of town trying to get some more information on how to best bring you better information and more information to bring you to help you understand the real estate process a little bit better. As I've said to you before, I don't know all the answers about real estate, but I have been doing this for a while, and if I don't know the answers, hopefully I'm giving you some information to spur some questions so you can ask some of the professionals that you know, or reach out to us and I can help you find a professional that can answer a question directly for you. So hopefully you guys are having a great start to your Thursday. I always look forward to talking to you, and I appreciate your feedback. So please feel free to ask or put out there any information or any questions that you have. always go to our website and look for resources there. There's lots of the information. If you've missed one of our videos, they're there. There's all kinds of tools and information on the resources page under the buyer, seller, or realtor page there. So hopefully you guys are having a great day. I look forward to talking to you again soon. I'm Connie Foote with Foote Title Group, where we protect your home ownership. Have a great day, guys. Bye-bye.